Hello, my name is Trey Squirtle, and today we're going to be addressing resolving conflict within the workplace. And I'm sure that every one of you has, at some point in time, had a negative experience with a coworker, whether it's a personal experience within the workplace or it is a strictly professional issue that has come up on a project or any number of situations that occur in the workplace. So the first step that you'd like to take is number one, speak with your coworker or coworkers. You want to make sure that in doing this, you ask them what time would be a good time for you guys to meet, and make sure when you schedule it in a location where you know you're going to be uninterrupted. This will just make the meeting go smoother. It'll make tension stay lower and just ensure that you guys can address everything that needs to be addressed in an orderly amount of time. Next, you want to focus on your behavior and the events and not the personalities. Sometimes the personalities are what can get in the way here, and one person's personality can overwhelm the other ones. And you just want to focus on the facts. You want to focus on what happened, what you can do to fix it, and where you can move forward from there. And also, listen to one another. You want to make sure that when you're listening, you're not going to interrupt each other. You're actually wanting clarification on what the other person says, and make sure that it's both ways, and each person is listening to one another, and make sure that that if there is clarification on any topic, that you ask for that, and you speak clearly enough to where you try to get your point across clearly. Do not let the meeting end with any guessing of what somebody meant by what they said. You make sure that you get the clarification that you need on what the topic is that you guys are talking about. Next, you want to identify each other's arguments and your agreements and disagreements. You want to make sure that that if you have a disagreement, you ask for input on where you guys can meet in that middle ground, so that if two of you agree on a few things but you disagree on a few things, you want to make sure that you collaborate and both have input on that specific subject, so that you guys can move forward on that. And you want to prioritize your areas of conflict. That's exactly the way it sounds. Take what you're having issues with, and just number them out. 1 to whatever. Put the important ones first. Address those first. Once you start to address those, the lower conflicts, they can start to work themselves out, or they'll be lower on the priority, that you guys can begin where the conflict needs to start. And so and next, you want to develop a plan, and you want to solve each conflict. And the first step of this is that prioritization. You want importance is first when it comes to resolving your conflicts. Make sure that your most important conflict is what you address first. And make sure that when you're trying to solve each other's conflict, you want to set a future meeting, and you want to make sure that these conflicts that you guys have, that you're continuing to address them in the future. And then you want to follow through with your plan. Continue to work together, continue to collaborate, continue to communicate on things that need to be done. If something has changed and your feelings have changed toward either a situation you guys are working with at work, or whatever the situation was that you guys sat down to address initially, make sure that the both of you are clear on where you guys are at in that conflict, and make sure that you're resolving some of the conflicts that you prioritized earlier. And then you really want to build on the outcome of your situations. You want to offer compliments and congrats to your coworker if it's a project you guys worked on, or if it's just differences, put them behind you. Do something together that you guys can build your relationship on. Excuse me, and go from there. just continue to grow. Just be able to put your differences behind you, and continue to build a professional environment that you both can work in. So no matter the problem, no matter the issue, if it's personal, professional, whatever it may be, learn to communicate with each other about it, learn to address it, learn to solve it, and then learn to build upon it. Take all those differences that you had and make it to where they make each of you better, and let each of you guys grow. So that's my presentation on resolving conflict in the workplace. I hope it works out for you guys, and have a good one. Thank you.